Hi, I'm wondering if you're somebody that when you were young in school, you were always called the dreamer by your teacher at school, or you got written in your report card, often wanders off in her imagination. Um, I was often called by my dad, "Oh, Yvonne, you're living in a dream world." Um, the thing is, I'm now in my 50s, and I'm still that little girl. I still have dreams, I have aspirations, I have ideas, constant ideas. Sometimes I have so many that I wake up at night and I have to write them down to get them out of my head. So if you're like that, if you're that little person, that person that's constantly got ideas and dreams and has no idea where to go, um, then stick around, because I'm going to give you some steps to realizing your dream so that you can make a change in your life to make you happier. Making that decision to actually make that change, make that leap, where you've got an idea that's so important to you that it's constantly in your mind. A bit like when you you're in your 20s and you see that guy and you go on that first date, and then you find afterwards you keep thinking about him. It's like what he did, what he smiled like, what his smile was like, and when you're going to see him again. So you get this idea, you get the spark in your head, and it's constantly there and it's constantly evolving, and you're thinking of different ideas, and all the little sparks are going off in your mind of how you could achieve it and where you go. And then fear takes over, and you're like, yeah, but at least where I am, I'm earning an income. At least where I am, it's stable. I know where I am, I know where I'm at. I know where money is going to come in. What about my family? What about what people are going to say? I've never done this before. I don't even know what to do. So, what do I know about opening up a coffee shop, for instance? I had that experience, I'll tell you in another episode. But you want to open up a coffee shop. Well, what do I know about opening a coffee shop? Well, I want to run a London marathon. Yeah, but I've never run a step in my life. I'm not even a sporty person. You get these. Your mind plays tricks on you, and it gives you all these things why you shouldn't do, why you shouldn't take that first step. But you need to get into the mindset of why you should make that first step. So let's get into into those steps of making that first change in your life to achieve your dream. So, first one is you want to clarify your dream. You want to actually clarify. You want to take all those ideas and you want to knock them out. So imagine your ideas are like those outfits you're trying to wear for a date. You're putting all your outfits out on the bed, your dresses or whatever it is, and now you've got to whittle down and you don't know which one. And I always say process of elimination. I've told my daughter this, process of elimination. So I like that one more than that, so that can go. But I like that one more than that one, so that can go. So you go it down. When you eliminate what doesn't resonate with you as much, that's when you start to get clarity. So clarify what that one particular idea is that really clicks within yourself, that's based in some experience or some passion that you have for that product. So that's your first step. Clarify what your dream actually is. The next step is identifying the why. Why is it that I feel compelled to make these changes in my life? Why do I want to achieve that dream? Because once you establish the why, that will give you the power behind to really push you forward. So, why do I want to, again, go back to that opening up a coffee shop? Why do I want to open up a coffee shop? What is a deep-seated desire? the reason that you feel compelled to do this. Go back into your childhood. Now, when I opened up my coffee shop, the why was the memory of my mother and I being in this most spectacular little coffee shop in Johannesburg, and they served the most delicious cheesecake that we'd ever had, and it was really quaint, and it was really just beautifully laid out, beautiful decor. And my mom said, she looked so longingly, and she said, "You know, I'd love to open up a place like this and serve cheesecake like this." And she never ever did. So now, later in my 30s, we opened up a tea rooms, a coffee shop, also in South Africa. It wasn't here in England. And when it came to the menu design, it was that cheesecake that was at the forefront of my mind, as well as everything else. But I thought, I have to make sure that I serve the best cheesecake. And when my mother came in and she had a cappuccino and she had a piece of my cheesecake, you know what she said? She said, "This cheesecake is even better than that beautiful coffee shop we went to in Joburg when you were young." And that is my why. That's your inspiration. It's that memory. It's that emotional connection that you know will give you joy, will give you fulfillment, will give you happiness. So identify the why. That's really important. So that leads me on to point number 3, is visualize the success. Visualize what the outcome will be. You know, once you've opened up that coffee shop, once you've won the London Marathon, once you've lost weight. That's a constant battle with myself, actually. But anyway, I obviously don't want it badly enough. But if that dream is so important to you, imagine how you'll feel once you achieve it, once you're there. What kind of fulfillment will it give you? What kind of emotional connections will it give you? What kind, that success, how will it make you feel? How will your life be? Will it be less stressed? Will it be more fulfilling? Will it be, will it bring more connections into your life? Will it help your family? Will it help your community? So what is the success? And what does it look like? And where's the end goal? And how will that make you feel? So now, the next step is research and learn. So this is where you're going to be doing some homework. You're going to look at other people that have trod the same path that you want to. You want to look at what they're doing wrong, but also what they're doing right. I remember in South Africa, part of my coffee shop prior to that was a furniture and home decor shop. And before I set out on, I had an idea of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to look. And I looked at other furniture shops, not just what they're doing right, but more importantly, what are they doing wrong? What were they doing that I thought, I wouldn't do that in my business? Have a look at what people are doing, how they're achieving it, what you can learn from their mistakes, but also from their successes. How you can how you can take what they've done and make it your own. How you can so point number 4 is learn, do your research. That's very important, because that's where you start to get even more ideas of how you can shape the dream that you want to achieve. So the next step is you want to set achievable goals. So, for instance, you want to run a marathon. Let's put it that way. Never run a step in your life. You're a couch potato, or you've got an office job and you don't really do a lot. So an unachievable goal is to say, right, I'm going to run a mile tomorrow. That's going to be very difficult. And the reality of it is it's going to be so hard that you're going to give up on it. So you want to set achievable goals. So for instance, you're going to say, I'm going to walk around the block, and then I'm going to walk around the block but half run the following day. And then by the end of the week, I'm going to run around the block. Then I'm going to run twice around the block. So you set achievable goals. So like if you're starting a business, for instance, you must realize starting a business is a long haul game. Many people only start achieving real monetary success after 2 years, some after 5 years. So go easy on your step. Set achievable goals. Set little timetables. So you know what? I'm gonna trial a market. I'm gonna make some products, trial a market, and see what customers say. See if it sells. You know, things like that. That's what you want to do. Is you want to set goals, but that are achievable, and you want to give yourself a timeline. So by within a week, I want to have done that. Within a month, I want to have done that. But make them achievable, because if they're too hard, you're going to give up. So number 6 is draw up a plan. Now, I'm really bad at this. I'm a bit lazy when it comes to having to write down and formulate and do lists and take. I'm not a list person. So this is difficult, but it's necessary. So you want to lay out on paper with a pen and write there, this is what I'm going to do, and these are the steps I'm going to take, and these are the things I want to achieve. The nice thing is, once you achieve things, you tick them off, and it's so satisfying, For instance, you want to start a business, you're going to design the logo. Tick, I've designed the logo. Now it seems real. Now it seems exciting, So write down all the plan of how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. And it might be over a month, it might be over 6 months, it might be over a year. For instance, if you still at work and you need that income, you might only be able to do certain things at night or on the weekend. So each person is different and different on their circumstances. So set achievable goals, make a plan, write it down, set a schedule, have a diary. Right, I'm not working that day, the kids are in school, that's when I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Write it down, take it off once you've done it. So now the next point is, for me, one of the scariest ones. You've got to tell somebody. You've got to confide in that one person that you trust most in the world. Not to laugh or belittle or put you down. And you tell them what your dream is. Tell them what your idea is. Tell them what you want to do and where you want to be. Because once you tell somebody, then it's real. And they can also encourage you, hopefully. They can be your sounding board when you're unsure about something. Also, when fear steps in, they can cheer you up. For instance, now I've been trying to achieve one of my goals for the last year. And my husband is my biggest advocate. As soon as I start having fear, he's like, Yvonne, you can do this. You've done it before. You can do it again. Oh, but I'm older now. Everything's changed. I feel overwhelmed. He's the one that buoys me up. So you want to tell that one person in your life that you know will be your sounding board, but also will be your cheerleader, that will cheer you along and give you that motivation on the days, and you will have them, the days where you feel like it's impossible and you want to give up. They're the ones that will bring you back up to your level of excitement that you need to proceed with your dream. So the next one is identifying possible obstacles. So for instance, you're opening up a coffee shop. You are really excited. You've got your idea. You've got your logo design. You've got your menu laid out. You're starting to order in equipment. You've rented a premises. But there might be one thing that you haven't thought of, and that's a health and safety inspector from the local council, because that is a reality that will happen and you need to be prepared for it. So you need to make sure that you're compliant with the rules and regulations of that local council in order to operate your business. Or, for instance, you want to run the London Marathon, but you suffer from diabetes. An obstacle might be the very problem, health issue that you're having. So you need to speak to your doctor. You need to find out how you can mitigate, what you can do so that you can continue with your dream, even though you're suffering that serious health condition. So look at obstacles that could scupper or hamper you in achieving your dreams and plan for them in advance. So now the next one is to take that first step, whatever that first step comprises, and you can't wait for the perfect conditions. It's like when they say if you wait to have a baby until you got a house rich enough and stable enough in both you and your partner, you're married and you got a partner, you never have a baby. So it's similar to making your dream come true. There are no perfect conditions. You only have to just make sure that where you're at now, you take that first step. So it might be you take a class to learn a particular thing. You want to, for instance, you want to make products out of clay. You want to be a potter, book those classes to learn how to pot, how to work with clay and how to make things. You want to run the London Marathon. You've got to take that first step. You've got to say, right, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go straight out there and I'm going to run around the block. And I'm going to make sure I do that each day for the next week. That's the first step. And it's scary, but you've got to do it and don't wait. So the last step is to celebrate any small win. So each step, no matter how small, you celebrate it, you reward yourself. So for instance, like, I don't know if you're like me, but I have a game on my phone that I enjoy playing, but I can very easily whittle around hours on it. So I've rationed myself. So what I do is if I've achieved something and I've done something that has got me that step closer, and I allow myself to get myself a coffee, sit down, play 15 minutes of my game. That's my little reward. Your reward might be, for instance, you're running the London Marathon, something that I would never do. But you run around the block and you've done it and you're really out of breath. But now you think, you know what? I'm going to take myself to my favorite coffee shop and I'm going to get that herbal tea that I enjoy so much. Or you might say, I'm going to have a nice leisurely bubble bath because that really makes me feel relaxed and rejuvenated. So you reward yourself. And obviously, if you're dieting, then rewarding yourself with a great big piece of cake is maybe not the idea to go. But you will find things that are important to you and things that calm you or give you peace. And you can reward yourself with a little bit of time to practice those things for working hard on achieving more difficult things. And that is all these steps to achieving your dream. So remember, every great achievement starts with that single step and the courage to take that first step. And once you do that and you are on your way to achieving your dream, I would like to wish you every success. And I would like to wish you courage so that you can forge forward on your journey. And I'd love to hear, so do pop a comment if you have a dream, and I really like to hear from it. And if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up because that's always very nice to see as well. So thanks for watching. I'm Yvonne, the Committed Dreamer.